Hi, I'd like to talk to you about this syllabus. Don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to hit some of the high points here. This class is Math for Healthcare Professionals. And up here at the top, you've got all my instructor information. Okay. This is also listed on our Moodle page over there on the right-hand side so that it's easy for you to access it. But I have an office on the Pocahontas campus. It's in the new Health Science Center. It's the two-story building at the back of campus. Okay, so if we need to meet up for something, we can do that. My office hours are listed on our Moodle page. You've got my office phone number, extension, and you've got my email address. Okay. Let's talk about prereqs. Typically, Math for Healthcare is for students who score a 16 or higher on the ACT or 55 or higher on the AccuPlacer, but I know some of you have scored a little lower than that, and so you were also placed into math enrichment. Okay, so you're taking Math for Healthcare and you're taking math enrichment in the same semester. All right. If you fall into that boat with those low entrance scores, then you have a whole separate Moodle class called Math Enrichment, and I should be your teacher for that as well. Okay, so it's a whole separate course. It's just the baby steps to make Math for Healthcare make more sense to you. Okay. But for those of you who scored 16 or higher, 55 or higher, then you are just in Math for Healthcare. All right. If you have any questions over that, please let me know. Scrolling on through here a little bit, the course learning outcomes is what we're going to talk about in this class. But let's look at textbooks. I need you to get the Nurse, the Math, the Meds, the 4th edition. Okay, we have it available in our bookstore, or if you wanted to Google and find it, there's the ISBN number that you're looking for. If you are working with financial aid, you're going to have to get it through our bookstore. All right, and I think you've got a week and a half to get that done before financial aid closes. Okay, so get in there this week and get that figured out. I'm also going to need you to have a laptop or computer with internet so that you can access Moodle and work on this class since it is an online class. A webcam, because we are going to be taking tests, and during the test it is going to videotape you so that I know you're not cheating. So go ahead and get a webcam if your laptop or computer doesn't come with it. I also need you to have a standard 4-function calculator. And by 4 functions, I mean add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay. Sometimes those little cheapy calculators might also have a square root button, and that's fine. We won't use it, but I understand. Some of them come with that as well. All right. So I don't need the calculators that graph or do fractions or any of that stuff. Okay. First of all, we won't be graphing or doing fractions in that sense, so we don't need anything that expensive. But also the licensure exams that you might have to take one day will not allow bigger calculators than this little cheapy 4-function calculator. Okay. I also do not allow cell phones. Okay. I want you to get a little calculator. Dollar Tree's got them. They're pretty cheap, so I'd recommend that you go ahead and get 2 or 3 in case they do break on you. But get you a calculator. Since this is an online class, be sure that you have all of these apps installed. Make sure you also have a contingency plan. Okay, so I know technology is great when it works, but there will be times that it doesn't work. And I did want to point out here that technical difficulties are not an acceptable excuse for failure to participate and or submit assignments. Okay, you have a full week to do all these assignments. So I need you to allow time for technical difficulties. Okay, I don't extend assignments due to technological issues. Okay, you've got plenty of time to get something figured out. We have computer labs on campus. There's public libraries around. In fact, BRTC also has laptops and or hotspots that you could check out for the semester. So I think those are located in our library, BRTC library on Pocahontas campus. Let me know if you're interested. I can send you an email to our librarian and he can set you up. Tablets and smartphones, it might work on a few assignments, but probably not the quizzes and exams. So go ahead and make sure you've got access to a computer or laptop. Okay. Course activities and assignments I'm going to come back to in a different video, but I did want to point out that our weeks will start on Monday at 1 a.m. and you have all week to do the assignments. They will be due Sunday at 8 p.m. Okay, so you get all week. Everything's going to be due Sunday at 8 p.m. But I'm going to come back to those different things there. I did want to talk to you about the weights of these different grades. Okay, so you'll have lots of different types of assignments in this course. Lessons and discussions count for 5 percentage points. Case studies are a whole letter grade. Homework is a whole letter grade. Quizzes are a whole letter grade. All right. The unit exams, there's 4 unit exams. They usually cover about 3 chapters each. So those are going to be worth an overall of 40%. 4 exams at 40%, that makes them 10% each. Okay. And then we have a final exam that's going to count for 20% of your overall grade. Grading scale, it's pretty normal, but I did want to point out that if you make an 89.99%, that's a B. Okay, so if you want to make an A in the class, you need to make sure it starts with a 9. Okay, there is no rounding up in this class. Grading turnaround time, usually within a week. Probably sooner, but at least a week. I can get grades posted and back to you. Okay. If you feel there's an error in the grading assignments, from the time I post them and give you the results, you have a week to dispute or ask questions. Okay. Okay, so different policies. Academic integrity is something that it's one of my biggest pet peeves, I'll be honest. I know that this is an online class, and so it's really tempting to cheat your way through it for whatever reason. But just know that one day you're going to be in the healthcare field, and you're going to be responsible for somebody's life. And if you don't know how to do dosage calculations, if you're off by a decimal point and you give them 10 milliliters instead of 1 milliliter, that could be a huge difference. It could be life and death. Okay, so I really need you to focus on doing this stuff the correct way the first time. Okay, and you doing this stuff, not a friend. All right, so no cheating, whether it's you getting a friend to do it or looking through your notes. Okay, you're going to have to take the time and memorize this stuff and learn how to do it. I did want to point out that if I do catch you cheating, I have the right to assign an F for the assignment or quiz, or I can assign an F for the course. Or I could even go further than that and refer you to the registrar for further review, and that referral will be a part of the student's permanent BRTC record. Okay, I don't mess around with academic integrity. Okay, it's too big of a deal for me. Support services, there are a ton of things that BRTC can support you along the way with. We have a library on campus, we have a cafeteria, we have a tutoring center, we have a ton of different things. So if you're ever interested in that, there's a link there. Communication policy, lots of different ways we can chat. All right, email, Moodle message, Moodle forums, office phone, face-to-face during office hours. We could even Zoom if that's something that you find preferable. Okay, email is probably going to be the quickest way to get a hold of me, unless I'm sitting in my office and you want to call me during office hours or something. But email is set up to go straight to my phone, so I get those alerts even when I'm at home. But like I mentioned earlier, I do have 3 small kids at home, and they require a lot of attention. So it may have to wait until bedtime before I get back to you, but I usually try to get back to you within 24 hours, I would say. On weekends, it may be a little longer. Okay, I may take a day off from school. So just allow me time to get back to you on questions. I do want to help, but I have a life too. Okay. Every week I am going to put a course update into the announcements forum on Moodle. Okay, and it's just going to be a guide of what to expect for the week. Okay, you've got these upcoming assignments. Don't forget to do blah, blah, blah. Watch out for this, that, and the other. Okay, so every week you're going to get a weekly announcement under the announcements forum. So you can check on that every Monday morning. It'll be there. Attendance policy. We don't have to come to school necessarily, but I did want to point out that online classes, while students seem to think that it's going to require less time or effort on their part, It's actually the opposite. Okay. Most of the time I have students tell me, well, that was more time consuming than what I would normally spend in a regular course. But you got to remember, you were teaching it to yourself here. You're not coming to a classroom for me to lecture you and tell you how to do this stuff. You're learning it on your own. Okay. I would like to see you logged into Moodle and working on this at least 3 times a week. For some of you, maybe more. All right. But it is going to take some time and effort on your part because you are teaching it to yourself. I'm there to help if you've got specific questions about something, but you're learning it on your own. Okay. Makeup and late work. I do not have any makeup or late work. Okay. I do not accept late assignments. I do not allow makeup exams, quizzes, homeworks, nothing. All right. We've had the technology talk. So come up with a plan B in case your technology fails. Sometimes your computer will crash. Sometimes lockdown browser stopped during the middle of a test. So just make sure that you have a backup plan. And sometimes you need a plan B. Sometimes you need a plan C. Okay. So just make sure you got something in place. Okay. I do let the final exam score replace the lowest unit exam score. Okay. So, you know, if you happen to miss a test along the way, it's going to set as a 0 for the entire semester. But then after you take the final exam, I'm going to take that final exam score, keep it in the final exam column, but I'm also going to replace that low test score. Now, it's only going to work for 1. Okay. And if you've done all your unit exams, if you don't have any zeros, I'll just pick out the lowest one and replace it. As long as your final exam score is higher than the lowest unit exam score. Okay, I'm not going to make it hurt you. This is just there for a little bit of a buffer.